We got ourselves color wheel eye project. You need to have a regular pencil for like the beginning. Then you need to have all these colored pencils. If you don't have a black colored pencil, you can use a pen or Sharpie, but it won't be as good as if you have a black colored pencil. And paper, because you're doing it on paper. We've previously made an eye, so you should remember that. I'm going to go over that anyways. But we're going to add some extra lines to it and then build ourselves a color wheel inside of the iris. That's like the colored part of your eye. And then go and do the shading. So basically, we're putting a color wheel into the eye we already know how to make. So I'm going to bump open a canvas file here to do the layout. Now it's important that when you do this, that the circle that you make, so this is, I'm just going to draw this. Pretend that this is your piece of paper, okay? So when you go to draw the iris, it should be about the size of like a coaster. Should take up a lot of the paper. So I'm going to go and do that cross that we learned how to set up an eye with, and I want the that to go like almost off the paper. Like we want this thing to be big. And I'm going to do the last two lines for the, that's going to be the top and bottom, and then I'll divide it in half this way. Ooh, that was not in half. There we go. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're counting. All right, so that's going to take up a huge amount of all your papers should be taken up. All right, and then we just go through plain old normal way, setting up the eye. I did this a lot of times. You did it at least 5 if you did your work. Ooh, that is not the best eye. That's a little wonky. So you see how it's a little footballish? I should have made my final dot right there, so I'm going to erase that because that's bothering me. Here, here. Alrighty, Rooney. Okay. And we're going to continue, get the less than greater than thing going. My rainbow line goes through the circle. So I should have this thing happening where there's extra. And I want extra circle on top that I'm going to be erasing. Okay. And then down. I have myself something that looks kind of eye-ish. And then I'm going to go and erase that. Boom. Knock that out. Now, normally we would be erasing everything right here, but we're going to stop when we get to the iris part. So right here is the erasing, all the erasing I want to do. We're going to use the cross in the center. I'm going to go back and I'm going to divide it even more. So I've got 8 slices. Now here's where I start drawing. Now, if you've pressed really hard so far with your pencil, you're going to want to erase to where you can barely see these lines. So you want to almost get rid of them, but just enough so that you can kind of see them. They're going to be helpful for when you color. All right. So then I'm going to get my yellow pencil. Again, you're doing this on paper. I'm just doing it this way because it's faster for me and you can see what I'm doing. So I colored in half of that, the whole thing. I colored it half yellow, right? I'm going to switch to the magenta colored pencil, and I'm going to color. One good thing about paper is it doesn't lag, it doesn't mess up. It's paper. Okay, so back to not complaining. Okay, so then I filled another half, but you can see there's an overlap right there with the magenta. And I'm switch to cyan, boom, and I'm going to fill in this half, which goes over the yellow and the magenta. So I've got some overlapping happening here. All right. Now, once I've done that, you can see I've got some pretty clear boundaries between the colors. So I'm going to go back in again So I'm going to do like kind of how we learned to blend out the colors. I'm going to blend it out so it looks like there's no boundary. It's just a transition. Goes smoothly from one to the other. I'll go back to the magenta again. Same deal, kind of smooth it, darken it, make it look pretty. All right, now for Color Pencil Town, you're going to want to do this quite a few times. This isn't ideal for me either. This should take a little longer. Get some more magenta in there. But this is a lot of experimenting, kind of messing around. You want it to smooth transition. Even that's looking pretty bad. Okay, well, it's a tutorial, so make yours look better than my tutorial, because my tutorial is not even using the right material. So, okay, so we're right there. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to refill in the pupil. So we get that. So basically we just paused the whole construction of the eye that we already knew how to do, filled in some color, and then it's right back to normal old doing the blah 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 blah. My brain stopped working. Doing the normal eye construction that we did when we were building the eye. So I've got my 2 value right here. Get that 1 filled in. And then I can just smooth out. I can go back in and make these boundaries darker. I can throw up, this would be like if you're using the black colored pencil. Right here, I could do these zigzags. The zigzag, to do this part, you just have some zigzags that are making sure they're pointing at the center of your eye. So that's it. And it's kind of an easy way to take care of this. All right, so we got that going. You decide whether it's a right or left eye and shoot a little tear duct in there. And you got the little S guy going, that's your eyelid, and then kind of eyelid thing down there. We got some eyelashes. Maybe you want to swoop them up and out, or yeah, or down and down and out. I guess that you don't want 1,000 eyelashes. Maybe I'll go back in with this charcoal and just throw a little bit of gray here for some shadiness. And then finally, for me, I get to cheat. You could have this entire time, which probably would have been a challenge, not put anything in the highlight. If you don't get a highlight in there, that's fine. It's not big deal. Okay. And that's the show. Once you've done that, you get to turn it in. Now, this should be taking you long. Oh my goodness, that took me 8 minutes.